I wake up in the morning, I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg and dreams. I wake up in the morning, I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg and dreams. Welcome to Bacon, Egg, and Dreams. I'm your host, Bernie Wine. And today I got a very special guest in the building. I knew him from when he was this tall. You know, he's a rapper these days. He goes by 100 G's. Let him know who you are for anything I missed.
I mean, you know, 100 G's, repping Long Island, rapper slash hood chef, you know, entrepreneur. You know, he covered everything, you know what I mean? That's it.
So, how did you start rapping?
So me personally, I always liked music. I was a big fan of music. You know, my sisters, they was hip hop fans, so I used to just take their CDs and all that. I actually had a crew that I used to run with, and they was actually into music. A lot of them at the time, you know, they was in and out of jail, and it was one particular time actually everybody was coming home, and before they did come home, I met this guy who had a studio. So he always told me, you know, if you need studio time, or you know somebody needs studio time, I got it available. I never really rapped, so I kept it in mind. It was my peoples came home, I plugged them in with the studio, and we go through there one night, and they did a song, and I actually just talked on the intro, or it was the outro of the song. I was just talking, and I kind of went back, and I was just like, I kept hearing my voice, and then I still was like, alright, whatever. It was just cool though. And then it was another time they was there haggling. And I'm like, yo, come on, like, why y'all not in the booth? They was like, yo, well, you go make a song then, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I bet. And I went and made a song, like, you know what I'm saying? At first it was, you know what I mean? It was funny, but it sounded crazy, like hearing yourself. But then it was like, people was really like, they liked it. Like, it's like, when you gonna do another one? And then I just kept it going, and you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, like, even like I said, I really just going for fun with my peoples, but then I just start going and taking it more serious. My people's looking for me, where you at? I'm in the studio locked in now. Now I'm in the studio, like, you know what I mean? And then I just kept it going from there, and now I'm here.
So when people listen to your music, what do you hope they hear?
So, I mean, for me, I want people to hear motivation, inspiration. I want them to hear that, you know, some people be hearing or go through things and they feel like, you know, you by yourself. Sometimes I hear people hear one of my songs, they be like, yo, bro, it's crazy. I was feeling like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like I need to go harder. Sometimes I need to hear the humbleness, like, you know what I mean? Or sometimes I could make a song and I'd be straight up funny, and some people like, I needed that laugh, like, you know what I mean? Some straight funny shit, like, you know what I mean? But I just want people to feel like the realness, like, you know what I mean? That's what most people relate. They say they feel the realistic, the authenticity part of self, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, the core of it. Like, sometimes, you know, anybody could go make a song, but when you really taking your time and, you know what I mean, you saying what's real, people on the outside that you're giving it to is gonna relate more than you just throwing out anything. And yeah, it might be hot this week, but next week it's like, alright, that was last week, you know?
So you came from a place where expectations aren't so high. How do you still keep the mindset that I could still do great things?
Well, I mean, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's your journey. You know, everybody has their own journey. And because you don't see the results that you're looking for right away, it doesn't mean that it's not working out or it's not going to work out. You got to still stay inspired. Like, you know, some artists, people who paint and draw, sometimes they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They might not be motivated, but they start throwing paint on the wall because it's like you gotta keep it going, and then you look up and you got a Picasso. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta stay motivated. You gotta still keep striving even when you don't get the results you don't want, because tomorrow might be the day you've been waiting for the last 10 years. Why give up? Because tomorrow might be the day you win, or you might already be winning. You don't realize it because you don't see it yet, and you go back and you look and you see how everything falls into place. So for me, I'm always looking to stay ahead and do better than what I was doing previously.
So how do you muster up the confidence to get on stage? Because a lot of people won't even get on stage.
Yeah. So, I mean, it takes a while. I mean, like I said, I remember like before I did my first show, I used to be like, man, I ain't gonna have no problem. And when that day came, it was like, I'm like, alright, it's not too late. But the day go by so fast. You look up, you at the show, and they calling your name, and it's like you up there, and it's like, you know what I mean? So, for me, I would say just focus on walking up there, not tripping, because you know back in the day they ain't have the wireless mic, so you got to do, you trip, it's a wrap. You don't, so just focus on getting up there. Stick to your plan. I would tell people, you know, stay away from things that's gonna make you a little bit lazy or fatigue, or you know what I mean. Some people think, oh, I'm gonna just go drink or something. You don't want to get up there and you're slurring. So be as comfortable as possible. Just flow with it and just take it one word at a time, and you look up. It'll go faster than what you think, you know what I mean? And you'll be ready to get back up there, like, you know. But once you get through it, it's a walk in the park.
And so behind the scenes, we don't get to see how your behind the scenes look. Yeah. What don't we see? Because we obviously see the result of what you do, but what's the nonstop hours that we don't see?
Well, for me right now, I'm pretty much on the sideline, so I take care of my pops pretty much throughout the day. So when you don't see me or I'm not releasing no new music, I'm doing that. I'm very family oriented, and so I'm sticking with the family. Right now though, I really just take care of my pops. So that's really my main thing, focusing on you know, different businesses, entrepreneurships, and you know, just striving to take it to the next level. All type of stuff, cause I pretty much is like a one man army, so I be working on visuals and trying to just get new venues, and I be working with different people. Like, not to say like I do artist development, but if I'm close to you and I rock with you and you got a vision and you might need a little help or steer you, like, you know what I mean? It's no I in team, it's a team thing. So yeah, I would take the seat back and, yo, come on, bro, let's, you know what I mean, let's help focus you up. You know what I mean? You deserve to win too. We all deserve to win, you know what I mean? So I'll be doing a lot of team stuff on the background, on, you know, on the backdrop too. So that's pretty much it though, you know. But the fam, businesses, the team, and you know what I mean, just work on just building the empire, striving, get to that next level, keep climbing the ladder.
So you talked about taking care of your dad.
Yeah.
What's a lesson that he taught you that you bring through life with you to this day?
So, you know, be like a man of your word, stand on it. Value your family. Really be a real gentleman. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have kids, but he really told me when I do have kids, you know, he taught me how to really be a real father. Like, I won't have to look nowhere else. I had that in my household. You know what I mean? We had times where it was cool, and it was times when it was strictly business. It was core, and he was, you know, military and working, so everything was kind of serious to him until it was time to have fun. And at the same time, even like, you know, it was my dad, and then like I played sports. He was my coach, so it was a thin line when we out there on the field or on the court. There's no dad, it's coach. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no special privileges because you my son. You out here with 15 other kids, and they all gonna get the same treatment as you. You don't get no special treatment. They don't get no special treatment, even if you is my son. So that actually, you know, stuck with me. That, you know, there's no favoritism in life. Like, even if it is or whatever, don't trip. You know what I mean? But he told me like not to never look at it like that, or taught me that never do nothing like that. You know what I mean? That was big for me, and I carry that to this day. Like, you know.
And how about your mom? Any lesson that she's given you?
Yeah, well, my mom passed when I was younger, but she gave me a lot of lessons. One, definitely like laundry, bro. Like, I like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, I'm so glad, like, you know, nobody knew that was gonna happen, but when I was younger, she just taught me how to do laundry. I didn't never have to, like, what I'm gonna do. Like, I knew what to do, like, you know what I mean? She used to like to cook, so I took that on too. Like, you know, after a while I stopped eating like beef and pork, so I got more into like cooking myself, because it's like I get tired of going out getting the same thing, and then you don't know, people cross contaminating, and then you like this a certain way, and then I really just started cooking, and I realized that was really like one of her traits. doing stuff at the house, like the events, and you know what I mean. Like that was her thing, and I see myself doing that. Like more, she was more of an inside person. I'm more of like an outside though. We gonna be outside barbecuing. We on the grill. We gonna throw the beats on. We gonna freestyle. But you know that was what she. That's what I seen growing up. All her friends coming around, hanging out. It was like the cool, you know what I mean, the chill out spot, and they had a good time. They played cards for 3-4 days straight. We not doing that in today's society, but you know what I mean. Just to like that's still like, all right, we gonna go to G's crib and chill out, like you know what I mean. So I take that. Yeah, that was pretty much,
That's pretty much it. So, since we talked about cooking up stuff, if success had ingredients, what ingredients would be in that?
What do you mean? Elaborate. No, I just had.
If success had a blend of things, what would be in that mix?
Well, I would say definitely dedication, motivation, hunger. It's definitely gonna be pain in it. You know, it's gonna be losses. It's gonna be lessons, wisdom. You're gonna have to like learn to be enlightened. It's okay sometimes if you don't know. Everybody can't be a boss. So sometimes you gotta work to climb the ladder. So it's okay to follow somebody lead who might be in the right direction. All of that comes with the territory. But you gotta be willing. You know, like in order to get to it, because if not, you just looking at the strike one, strike two, strike three. If you don't swing, you don't know you're gonna hit the home run. You won't know. You don't know if you're gonna hit the game winning shot if you just sit there and let the shot clock expire. Or you don't know if you don't pass the football, you get sacked, or you don't run from off the line. You know, so you gotta take the chance. You gotta strive, and you know, also you gotta be humble too. I would say, like, you know, don't let your first peak of success change you because you feel like you're in the right direction, or you think you did it. There's always room for more. It's how millionaires become billionaires. That's how successful people become wealthy, and they set it down for generations to come. They didn't just stop and just was happy with themselves reaching $1 million. They went and carved their last name in the stone. Now it's a building. You know, so I would say those things is the ingredients. You know.
And what would you say? So now you are 32 or 31, turning 32.
32. I just turned 32.
Okay.
I just turned 32.
So what would you say to your younger self if you knew how your life was going to be right now?
I would say don't overthink it. Just take your time. You know, move like be a more wiser person. You do have to live and you learn. It's cool experience, but knowing what you know now, of course, is like you go back and you know just it's some things you probably would end up doing again because that's just how you was feeling back then, and your gut might still do the same thing. But I could be more aware. I can be more observant. I can educate myself more. I could have had an approach on different things differently. I could approach things differently and accomplish them way different. Because the opportunities are bigger and they are better when you are younger. There's more, you know, there's still opportunity out here, but the window is wide open when you're younger. You fresh off the porch. You know what I mean?
So, what would you say to the person that's about our age that thinks they're so behind? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say it's never the end, because you have some people who been going through trials and tribulations their whole life, and you know they get a fresh start, and you can't worry about what everybody else doing. You got to just take that step. You know, some people always say like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, and it's like I'm not going because I can't see what's going on. But it's like, well, could you see your next step? Then just take the next step and then take it from there. You know, everybody do it. Like I'm an overthinker, so I'm always overthinking ways of like I should have did this. I need to be somewhere, but it's like if I can just take the step right now, I can't really see too far ahead of me. But if I can see my step right here, and I can see I'm not gonna slip if I take this one step up. Take that step up, and then you look to take another step, or get your other foot up there so you could be balanced. You know, we got to stop taking a step forward and then taking 2 steps backwards because we happy we finally took the step forward. And for people, our age, we are starting to get in that conversation where the window is going to start closing soon. So, to just start tomorrow, just take that step, keep it going. And, we all see each other at the finish line.
And how important is the process? Because everybody loves the result of things, but how important is falling in love with the process of it?
Well, I think that's the core. Like you have to adapt to the process. You have to actually enjoy it, even though it can be frustrating, it can be stressful, it can be depressing, it can seem like you're crazy, you could be ready to give up. All of those emotions is for a reason. It's because you are really dedicated, you really care. And yeah, it can get very stressful, but that's the passion of the drive, you know what I mean? The grind. So when you finally do get there, you enjoying that. You enjoying that success. Like you worked hard for this. You didn't just wake up and skip the line and say, "Oh, thank you." And if you do, I mean, sometimes it happens as luck, and sometimes even you got to work hard to even meet the right people to get in those positions. So unless them people just know you from when you was born, you still got to get out there and go strive to meet the right people who can just open the doors magically for you. But you gotta respect that process. It's the only way, It's it's some things you might not like, but you gotta respect it, and that's how it go.
So days when you're tired, you might not feel like writing, you might not feel like driving, or whatever the case. How do you muster up the energy to keep going?
Well, you don't want to never really kind of overwork yourself. You don't want to fire yourself out. So, I mean, if you feel like you're inspired, maybe take a step back. I wouldn't say just don't do nothing at all, but maybe you're trying to do too much at once. So maybe just take a step back and unwind a little bit, because maybe that's the problem. I'm trying to think about a video and I'm trying to write music and I'm trying to do this. So maybe I don't have to necessarily write music today, but I can still listen to music. Or maybe I can go read some business books, or figure out something else. Maybe this, because sometimes maybe that's your mind telling you maybe I should focus on something else right now, or maybe you might need a peace of mind. Maybe you're overworking yourself and you might need to step back and maybe let me go hang out with the family for the day. Let me go outside sightseeing, because that can inspire you too. Sometimes you might have to see something and you think like, damn, I thought I was going through it. I thought I was stressed out, and you walk around the corner, you see something totally worse, and it's like, wow, I got a lot to still be inspired about. Let me get back here, and you know what I mean? Because we still here. Somebody who did not wake up today, they took their last breath yesterday. And if they was here, they would still, they would still be doing what they trying to do. So it's like, we can't just lay down, and roll over because, we're not really feeling inspired. So people don't want to go to work every day. And it's like, I'm just tired of going to work, but your bills are still due. You still need money. And the world is not going to stop because of your feelings. And that's the truth. It never does.
And what's a quote or a lyric that stands out to you in your mind that just has a meaning, that it doesn't have to be motivational, it could be anything?
Let me think about that. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that because you know, I'm trying to think of something that like a me, like a. Let me think. Yeah, I get back to you.
He'll
On
get
that one.
back
I
to
get
me
back
on
to you
that.
on that one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We ain't gonna stay here for
Oh yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
it's
You know what I mean?
it's all good.
Sometimes, like I said, I'm an overthinker, so I was just trying to just overthink. You know,
So you know, so when you do have a kid, right? You know, we grew up where we always heard we're first in the universe. What would you tell your kid as they grow up?
well, I wouldn't keep that. I wouldn't change the mentality that we're first in the universe. Because I would want my kid to know, like, you know, you are a winner. You know, so sometimes that was big encouragement. That was motivation. Sometimes to people, like a pat in the back started from home or where we come from. You know, we are first in the universe. I will, you know, I would want him to have that winning mentality. But I will also want him to have a ambition. Like I would want him to be, well, he or she to be very ambitious of their dreams, whatever it is. And I don't mean when I say work hard to go work for somebody, but work hard on you work not having to work ever. You know, I don't want it to be a particular party thing. You know, because at the end of the day, everybody is one. I will really want them to just have that winners mentality, and anybody around you, I want you to be around winners, and if not, change their aspect of how they think, and if not, then get a new crowd. I would just want them to just be themselves and just, you know, whatever makes them happy, focus, just, you know, um, just grind. Just have that grind mentality. Know it's not gonna be fair. Um, you know, things is cruel in the world. Like I would want them to, you know, I would want them to see things from the actual eye. You know, the truth. Not to say when they, you know, 2, 3 years old, but you know, I don't like. I wouldn't want to sugarcoat nothing with my kids. You know, I would want them to be know that, like, you know, my dad is very blunt. I can kind of come and have a intellectual conversation about anything with him, and you know what I mean, get advice. Like, you know, sometimes as some parents, they, you know, they lay down that law that, you know, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent,
Yeah.
and that is true. But sometimes you still you lay that down so much that your kid don't want to tell you nothing, and then that's what leads them to stand in a room, and then they this and they that, you know. So I would just, you know, I would want them to just be truthful. I would, you know, just the truth, a truthful person, you know, and just strive.
And to the person scared to fail and scared to start, what advice would you give them?
Well, I would tell you, don't, you're gonna let that be your fate, because you waited long enough. Don't let it be your fate. Go for it, because you have visions and ideas that you're not pursuing, and what's gonna kill you is somebody's gonna think of those ideas. You're gonna watch somebody build your bridge and charge you to come over it when you knew how to build that bridge, and you could have been getting that easy pass money. That lane is yours. We all waited long enough for things, and you know, we put things to the side and hold it back. But anybody got the opportunity, just go for it. Just don't be scared to take that step. Just take a step at a time. You don't gotta swing for the fence. That way, if it fails and if it don't work, that's okay. Go back to the drawing board. We looking at these people who started businesses in a garage. and off their laptop or at Starbucks running it, and these dudes is successful, or whatever it is. People is studying stuff. Your mind is really a good thing. Like, don't just let your thoughts just sit there. Talk about it, write it down, do a step at a time. And if you have to consult with somebody, sometimes that's okay too. You don't have to try to do everything by yourself unless you're forced to. Then it's like, yeah, don't give up because you're doing it by yourself. But sometimes, you got to talk to people, because you might have an idea and I'm sitting here stressing myself out about it because I can't figure it out. Or you might know what I'm, you know what I mean? And all I had to do was come talk to you. Like, bro, you lived around the corner from me forever. You could have been just told me, and we could have been had this figured out 3 years ago, Yeah. So that would be it. Just don't be scared to consult, strive, take the chance, take the risk and prosper. It's sweet when you win. And I know it hurts. Everybody's done thought of something and didn't pursue it, and you see it happening now. You look on TV, you go on the internet, and you see it, and you're just like, I thought of that, but I didn't pursue it because I thought it was dumb. I didn't think nobody would, I was scared of rejection. Don't be scared. It's alright. It's all good.
And so, hey, it's been a pleasure having my boy 100 G's on the show. Let everybody know where we could hear your music at. I know you got some stuff cooking up. I had Drones on the show. That's one of his men.
Yeah,
so
shout out to Drones, man. CNS Drones, that's my guy. You can find me on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that. 100 G's, 100 GEZ. Follow me on the gram, 100 G's, 100 GEZ. Twitter, the same thing, and all the other sites. So on. We got new material coming. We got the merch finally too. I've been working on. The merch is coming. We're trying to work on a lot of visuals. Beyond just music too, like just dope ideas that's gonna be coming from myself, people inside my my circle, and people from around my way. So it's a lot of entertainment. So stay tuned. I appreciate my guy. Always a pleasure. And this is my guy. And let me tell y'all something before we get up out of here. This guy right here is the definition of grinding. Yo, bro, been grinding since we known him. The guy holds the all-time record of rebounds on the block. We used to have the hoop. We used to be bowling. And I mean, B-Dub used to be having buckets, and he'd just toss you the meanest pass, like, and then watch you miss like 3 times, and it was like, you know what? You missed 3 times. I got 3 rebounds. Now I'm gonna just put it back. So it was a quick, he putting up a quick 12 and 12 every game to 21. It was, So he got the record for that. But overall, bro, been grinding. The visuals, I'm watching all the episodes, So I'm gonna salute you too, bro. I salute your grind, man. Real talk, man. It's a pleasure having me. And I look forward to coming back with some new content real soon.
Here we go. I wake up in the morning. I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg dreams.